Well, it's a pleasant morning here in Colombo, Nalanda College grounds to be precise. The location ready to welcome Mercantile F Division T20 tournament. Two unbeaten teams about to clash. Powerhand Plantation taking on Ansell Textile. Ansell winning both their games. Powerhand Plantation starting off the tournament really nicely, winning their first game. Both the teams very, very strong, expecting close results. And let's straight away go down to the center. We have our match referee for today's game, Mr. T20-OVER, together with two captains. Here's Iran Karunaratne.
It's toss time here at the Nalanda Cricket Grounds in Colombo. Beautiful conditions, the sun is shining bright at the moment, and we could promise you that we are going to have a thrilling encounter between these two teams. Right then, I have the two skippers with me, Vikash Gomia for Powerhand Plantations and Madhushan Sanjay for Ansell Textile Lanka, and our standing match official for the day, Mr. Tiron Vijayawardena. Gentlemen, can we flip the coin, please? Heads is the call. It is a heads. So, Ansell Lanka have won the toss. Other Kasiyawase Jagrahane kala තියෙනවා මුලින්ම මොකද්ද කරන්න තීරණය කරලා තියෙන්නේ?
පන්දුවර පහර දෙන්න තීරණය කරා.
මුලින්ම පන්දුර පහර දීලා ඔයාලා කොහොමද මොන වගේ ටෝටල් එකක්ද අද මෙතන පෝස්ට් කරන්න හිතාගෙන ඉන්නේ?
ලකුණු 150කට අඩුවෙන් තමයි තියන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. හොඳ තරගයක් දෙන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා පවර් හෑන්ඩ්ස් එක්ක.
පසුගිය තරඟ දෙකම ඕගොල්ලෝ ජයග්‍රහණය කරලා ජයග්‍රාහී මානසිකත්වයකින් තමයි අද මේ තරඟයට සහභාගී වෙන්නේ. කොහොමද කණ්ඩායමේ සූදානම් මොන හරි වෙනස්කම් කරලා තියෙනවද පසුගිය තරඟ දෙකට අමතරව?
නෑ පසුගිය තරඟ දෙක ක්‍රීඩා කරපු ක්‍රීඩකයන්ම තමයි මේ තරඟෙත් ක්‍රීඩා කරන්නේ. අපි හොඳ තරඟයක් දෙනවා, හොඳ මානසිකත්වයකින් ඉන්නවා මේ කණ්ඩායම. අපි හොඳ තරඟයක් දෙනවා පවර් හෑන්ඩ්ස් එක්ක.
බොහොම ස්තුතියි සුබපතන අද තරඟය වෙනුවෙන්. කාසීවාසයේ ජයග්‍රහණය කරා නම් ඕගොල්ලෝ පන්දුට පහර දෙන්නද හිතාගෙන හිටියේ?
අපි ඇත්තටම බලාපොරොත්තුෙන් හිටියේ පන්දු යවන්න. කොහොමත් අපි සූදානමින් හිටියා දෙපැත්තට මුහුණ දෙන්න හොඳ ආකාරව.
Ansell Lanka ටීම් එක පසුගිය තරඟ දෙකම ජයග්‍රහණය කරලා ඉන්නේ ස්ට්‍රොං ටීම් එකක්. ඕගොල්ලෝ කොහොමද අද ප්‍රිපෙයාර් වෙලා ඉන්නේ ටීම් එකක් විදිහට Ansell Lankaට විරුද්ධව මේ තරඟයට සහභාගී වෙන්න?
Ansell Lanka හොඳ ටීම් එකක්. ඒ වගේම අපේ දෙපැත්තම සම්බර ටීම් එකක් අපිත් ඉන්නවා. පොඩි වෙනස්කම් දෙකක් සිදු වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒකත් එක්ක හොඳ තරගයක් දෙන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා.
බොහොම ස්තුතියි සුබවතන අද තරගයට. Right, so the news from the center is that Ansell Lanka have won the toss and they will have a ball first.
Well, Ansell captain had no hesitation in deciding to bowl first. Two teams, Madhushan Sanjana captain, Anjana Kumara, Samatsara Veerasinghe Bandara and Nimesh Bandara, Lakshant, Kokul Raj Kumar and Fernando. That's Ansell Textiles, Powerhands Plantation, Vikash Gomia the skipper, Ashen Silva, then Chamika Hettiarachi, Kulasingha, Nirosh, Fernando, Kolumbage, Ashen, Ravishka and Udara. Two strong teams, I can tell you, based on their results. Done exceedingly well. This promises to be a very close game. Therefore, we are expecting a very, very thin winning margin. Action already underway, and Ansell having decided to bowl first. They've been doing exceedingly well, controlling the opposition really nicely. Batters were put under pressure. Fielders, they've been efficient. As a result, just picked up a wicket. Everything going according to a plan for Ansell as we speak. It's a very, very interesting tournament. Ansell fielding in two teams. In Group B, this is Group B encounter coming to you live from Nalanda College Grounds, Colombo 10. Wonderful location, excellent facility. The outfield, understandably, little rough. This being a school's cricket ground. Few bare areas. Other than that, it's fantastic conditions, and you know for a fact you get value for your shots. Powerhand Plantations already under pressure. Lost 2 wickets. We are still in the third over. Dinitha was on 8, and Kokul Raj in the middle of a very good over into his second over already picked up a wicket, given away just 6 runs. Ansell, they had a plan, won the toss, and getting their strategy forward, putting opposition under pressure. T20, as we know, it's a game of momentum. Here's Kokul Raj. Excellent line and length right from the word go. He's been switching in, not providing width outside the off stump, not striving down the leg side, keeping things very tight. We've often mentioned T20, it's about momentum, it's about confidence, innovation. Ashane Silva, just 31 runs, and that's been his highest average. Nothing to talk about, but the strike rate is excellent down the leg side, wide. So we've been praising Ansell for their excellent bowling, and immediately Kokulraj deciding to slide one down the leg side, conceded another extra score move up to 12 now. Compact looking ground, fairly evenly grassed, lightning quick outfield. Down the ground, gentle push, should only be a single. Stern test so far for Powerhand Plantation. Winning both the games, they are very, very keen on keeping their winning streak going. During the first round, this is Group B encounter. You need to win at least 3 matches or more if you are to stand a chance to move on to the second round. Run rate at this stage, not great, 5.2. And I'm thinking, considering how fast the outfield is, 160. That will be the par score. If you get anything beyond that, getting close to 200, that will be a bonus. Once again, very well bowled. Inner part of the bat, straight to the fielder. Just a single. So they've been doing the basics right. We've seen during this tournament, bowlers in particular, by trying to do too many experimentation during the first power play, losing the shape of their bowling, provided too many extras, providing ample opportunities for the oppositions to go after the bowling. And today, for a change, Ansell Textiles, in fact, that nagging line length completes a very good over after 3 14 for 2. Good start to his third over. We've been keep talking about it. It's a stacked division. 24 teams. Level of competition is very, very high. Fernando. In swinger. Perhaps a cutter. Inner part of the bat. Looks like a very compact looking technique by Dinit, who's on 10 onto double figures. Now they've lost 2 wickets. It's about stitching out a partnership is the priority. Tisura Fernando, a centurion. This is his bowling figures. I can tell you, he's a genuine all-rounder. 4 for 24, average and economy. Excellent. There's no doubt. He's one of the key players as far as Ansell Textile is concerned. Lovely shape in towards the batter. No room, absolutely. The batter forced to play gently. Gentle push straight to extra cover fielder for no run. This has been the problem for many teams during this tournament, just as I mentioned. Losing too many wickets inside the power play. Room outside the off stump. Spanked away. And the fielder in the deep. So the skipper, Sanjay, getting his field positions spot on. Sweeper cover deployed earlier on. Line of attack outside the off stump. Tisura Fernando. Fabulous player. But apart from scoring that century, not too many runs, and today I have no doubts he'll be expecting to do something adventurous. Lovely piece of bowling straight to the field for no run. That'll do it. Not striving for too much pace, just sticking to basics. Let the batsman to take all the risk, to do something unusual, out of character. Once again, room outside the off stump. Fielder is being busy, a fumble. But two batters, they weren't on the alert. Whichever the case, yet another fine over after 4. 17 for 2. When we are starting up last week's matches, we mentioned about the winning ratios. Team batting first, winning 40% of the games, and chasing has been profitable. But things have changed now. 52% of the matches have been won by teams batting first. Interestingly, Ansell deciding to bowl first. Just as I mentioned, that position, sweeper cover, he's been kept busy. I have no doubts he will keep busy right throughout the innings. It's a double header as usual here at Nalanda College grounds. Later on, yet another strong team will be in action. But right now, two unbeaten teams. Lovely hands. Gentle push and gets a single. At this stage, good to see two batters not going after the bowling. Playing each delivery on its merit. Dropping the hands down, getting singles. Because at this stage, if they lose another wicket or two, that'll take the initiative out. There was room. He looks like a very strong leg side oriented player. Most of the shots, his bat face closes touch too early. As a result, almost always dragging things from outside the off stump towards mid-off region, mid-wicket region. Whichever the case, he's the man in control at the moment. 13 runs of 12 deliveries. Short of a length. This is good. Last thing they can afford at this stage is to lose another wicket. During this tournament, 28 50-plus stands. So partnerships proven to be the key in this format, the shortest format. And partnerships is the key, whichever the format. Be it 2 days, 1 days, or T20. Gets a single and a fumble. Initially considering the possibility of coming back for the second, wisely so decided against it. Boundaries have dried out. It's a formality, just singles, 5 deliveries. Kokul Raj about to complete his third over. Powerhand Plantation A team done exceedingly well in D division, reaching the second round. There you go. Good cricket. I'm thinking they'll continue to do that for 2, maybe 3 overs. Completes another very decent over after 5. 23 for 2. Fernando into his third over. He's been doing outstandingly well during this tournament. This tournament has been a fabulous one for him. Sparkling century the other day, last week. 3 centurions, and this man is one of them. But right now, his responsibility is to keep things tight. Sweeper cover into the action. Another single. Right throughout this tournament, taking the stats into consideration, dot ball percentage right at the beginning of last week's round of matches was around 48. Now it has improved. Now it's 46%, which means teams are applying their attention. And to resurrect that mistake of eating up too many deliveries, they wouldn't mind. Down the leg side. Trying to make some room outside the off stump. Try to punch that one through the gap, but finds a fielder. This is the stage teams trying to cement their place in the second round, aka quarter-final round. Lovely. But finds a fielder. Oh, for a moment thought he finds the fielder. He somehow managed to get that one through the gap. Boundary after a while. This is Fernando. Trying to do a little bit of experiments and in the process providing too much room outside the off stump, and he needs no invitation. Then it moves up to 18 with that lovely shot. Gentle hands, excellent wrist work. Score moves up to 29. Full toss. Says thank you so much. His eyes lit up. I almost thought he quite easily picked up a boundary. But they have a fielder down in the deep at wide long on region. He comes around, keeping it down for just 2 runs. It's a very good over so far. 8 runs off. Coming down the track. Blast that one away. Through extra cover region. No need to run. That's aggression. So he's very capable. Nice end to the 6th over, 35th run. And they've lost 2 wickets. Now slowly but steadily gathering momentum. That'll do it. That'll provide him truckload of confidence to continue with his innings. 6 done, 35 for 2. They did an Australian trying to resurrect things for Powerhand Plantation. I mentioned they've been doing exceedingly well in mercantile cricket. In D division, now in F division. MCA Fairfirst F division T20 tournament in full swing here at Nalanda Grounds, Colombo 10. Very colourful, colour clothing. Ravindu Kumara into the attack, 5 matches, 7 wickets, best of 3 for 23. So he's a bowler who's capable of picking up wickets. Average excellent, economy pretty decent. Oh, that's a nice shot. Flicked away for another boundary. Serious momentum being added. Serious impetus to the run rate. Powerhand Plantation must be feeling really good about themselves now. They felt the pressure earlier on, losing 2 early wickets, 2 top order batters back in the hut, not too many runs on the board. You will immediately find yourself under pressure when that happens. 2 smart batters understood the fact. Now stitching out a partnership. Now growing into threatening proportions for Ansell Lanka. Yes, they have a very strong batting lineup. And I mentioned Pasco, 160 minimum, if not 150. That'll make this game a very, very interesting one. Right now, 9 unbeaten teams out of 24. On his pads, no runs. Kumara, after making that mistake of bowling down the leg side, after conceding a boundary and a single, now seems to be settling into good lines and lengths. Quicker you do it, better it is for your team and for yourself. Good bowling. Stifled appeal by the umpire. Not that interested. 2 umpires officiating today's game. Tilanka Salgado and Charit De Silva. Experienced umpires. This is good bowling. Leading edge and fabulous catch. Just what the doctor ordered as far as Powerhand Plantation is concerned. 2 batters moving along merrily after that brief period, after that quiet period, by picking up a wicket. Once again, tightening the grip. Ansell, this is exactly what they expected after winning the toss. Right now, pretty even Steven. 3 down for 40 now. Powerhand Plantation under a little bit of pressure once again. Batting first, ideal scenario you would expect is to have as many as 7, maybe 6 wickets, reaching the last 5 overs. That's where you really launch on the opposition bowling, going after the bowling, searching for many boundaries as possible. But right now they've lost 3 wickets and makes a partnership a valuable requirement for Powerhand Plantation at this stage. Absolutely no doubts. Ravindra Kumara, strong comeback. But bowled this time down the leg side. Just maybe the commentator's curse. You've already seen how quick this outfield is. It's just a matter of getting past the inner ring. Decent enough timing will earn you a boundary almost always. Oh, that's very close and given. Foot across the line of the delivery. Plumb in front. Kumara picks up another wicket. Excellent over so far. 2 wickets. And Jivanta, his stay being cut short. Out for duck. Right on top. Ansel Lanka. Oh, that's plumb in front. Had absolutely no doubts. This is not the way they would have expected. 7 down, 7 overs completed. They've lost 4 wickets, just 41 runs on the board.
Seven overs done, 41 for 4. Powerhand Plantation in deep trouble, I would say, at the moment. They got off to a good start, but unfortunately, they've lost a few wickets. Just a one-set batter out there at the moment. Ashin, 11 of 13. He hasn't got off to a flyer as well. Being a T20 game, you'd expect these batters to go bang bang from ball number 1, but it hasn't been the case here today. Slower delivery. There is protection. They're looking for a second run. Here's a quick look at the previous wickets. A loud appeal. A pretty easy decision for the umpire. He was plumbed right in front of the wicket. The finger went up in no time. These two batters, they'll need to put up a decent partnership. They'll need to spend some time out there in the middle. But unfortunately, when it comes to this format of the game, it's very tough. Good bit of running between the wickets. Couple of runs added to the total. Bit of fumble down at T20 off. And the batters taking advantage out of that. Coming back for a second run. This is what they need to be doing at this point. They'll need to rotate the strike as much as possible. Try and keep the scoreboard ticking. If the big shots aren't coming, make sure that you get a run of every single delivery. 45 on the board. We are into the 8th over of the game. And Sri Lanka, they have been spot on with the ball in hand. The fielding has been on high standards. They've delivered well, met the expectations. Beautiful delivery, loud appeal. Trying to drive outside the off stump on the run. That was the difference. Hardly any foot movement. Let's take a quick look at that again. He's trying to drive outside the off stump. Change of pace. Poor bit of fielding. You can't expect these at this level of cricket. You need to be on your toes, especially when you're inside the 30-yard circle. Every run would matter. You need to be very watchful. Five runs coming off this over so far. It is good batting. Playing it with soft hands. 6 runs coming off that over. 8 overs done. 47 for 4. It has been a beautiful Saturday here at the Nalanda Cricket College grounds. Nirmal Columbage, 2 matches, 2 innings, 14 runs being the highest number of runs scored. He'll need to do a lot better here today. Beautiful delivery, lovely delivery, moving away from the left-hand batter. Ravindra Kumara, he has been fantastic today. 2 for 6 of his 1.1 overs. He has been very disciplined with the ball. He has hit the right line and length. Just like that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful bowling. just trying to get the batter to fish outside the off stump. Well, he is hitting the same line and length, one after the other. This is great, absolutely brilliant bowling. He has been just asking many questions from the batters, making life harder. It has been tough from ball number 1, and he is making things even more difficult. Beautiful bowling. This is actually test match bowling. Just hitting that length just outside the off stump, getting it to move away from the left-hand batter. Commentators curse. Commentators curse. Absolutely commentators curse, I could call it. It was going well. Sprays one down the leg side. Gets the outside edge. There is protection at deep third man. Nirmal realizing that he might need to try and put off Ravindra Kumar off his line and length, trying to go hard. At the moment we have the sun shining bright. It has been a beautiful Saturday. There is a little bit of rain expected towards the latter part of the day, but I can guarantee you that this match, we're going to have a full one here. Interesting. An interesting leave from Ashin. Leaving it alone. Usually we don't see this in the format of the T20 matches. Quite interesting. Good over so far. Just a couple of runs. Defensive. Very watchful. 9 overs done. 49 for 4. Well, Ansell Lanka winning the toss and deciding to bowl first. They have kept things under control. They haven't cut loose. $50 up on the board for Powerhand Plantation. Not the ideal start if you're a supporter of Powerhand Plantation, because in a T20 match, you'd expect probably the 50 to come maybe within the power play, but that has been a different story here at the Nalanda College Cricket Grounds. Nimesh Bandara, 7 matches, 5 wickets, carries a bit of experience on his shoulders. Beautiful delivery. Starting touch outside the off stump and moving away from the right-hand batter. Great movement. They have kept the batters on their toes. They are hardly given any chance, any opportunity for the batters to bounce back. This is great. Gets the outside edge. And the umpire confirms that the catch was taken clean. Valiant effort behind the wickets by the wicketkeeper himself. Disappointing. Ashin departs. Once again trying to fish outside the off stump, going for that booming drive. Gets it all wrong. Beautiful bowling by Nimesh Bandara. He grabs his fish. He knew that he was finding it hard outside the off stump. Got him to drive. The trap was set. Departs for 13 of 20. And Powerhand Plantation, they fall into deeper trouble. 50 for the loss of 5 wickets. The new man walks out to the middle. Lots of pressure. Beautiful delivery once again outside the off stump. He's just consistently hitting that line and length. Touch outside the off stump. A very tempting line and length for the batters to try and drive through the offside. This is good bowling, realizing that the batters are trying to survive rather than to attack. There you go. Gets a bit of outside edge. A diving effort. Bounces just in front of the fielder. Well, it's all happening here at the Nalanda College Cricket Grounds. The Ancel Lanka team, they're really on top at this point. The bowlers have been very tough to handle. They have been on song from delivery number 1. The fielders have thrown themselves around, supported their bowlers. It has been good. Very good. .50 on board for the loss of 5 wickets. Powerhand Plantation, they're really struggling at this point, trying to recover. Goes for a booming drive. Not timed perfectly. Trying for some shots. That completes a very successful over. 11 overs done. 51 for the loss of 5 wickets. If you're just joining us, Powerhand Plantations have been put into bat by Ansell Lanka this morning after they won the toss. Wide call by the umpire. Gets the outside edge. That'll be one more nail on the coffin. Powerhand Plantation, they continue to fall apart, and Ansell Lanka, they continue to grab wickets one after the other. That's the 6th one down, 53 on the board. It has been a disappointing start for the day for Powerhand Plantation. They're really struggling out there in the middle. It's a Group B match happening here. of the 6th MCFFS F Division T20 League Tournament 2026. And Sri Lanka coming into this game right on top of the table in Group B, winning 2 games out of 2. And Powerhand Plantation, they managed to win their previous game, but they're struggling here today. Yasid, the new batter, walks out to the middle. Well, at this point, I believe that the Powerhand Plantations, they need to try and survive the 20 overs rather than trying to attack the bowlers, because with 10 overs left after this one, we're into the half stage of the game's play. Plenty of overs left, but just the 4 wickets in hand. That's the question. That's the problem right in front of the Powerhand Plantation team at this point. They need to figure out what's required. Going hard at the bowlers and losing the wickets, or maybe try to survive the 20 overs, add another 55 runs on the board, get past the 100 runs, give your bowlers a chance to bowl at, something to bowl at. Another game happening at the Dharmapala College grounds in Pannipitiya. Aiken Spence batting first, 77 for 2 at this point after 9.1 overs. They're playing against the McLaren's group. So lots of cricket happening around Colombo. If you're a cricketing fan, you can tune in to Sporty.lk on YouTube and catch all these live coverages. Hats off to the production team. Lots of effort. Plenty of work done by the production crew to bring these live pictures, which you could see on screen at this point. Goes for a big shot. Clears deep mid-wicket quite comfortably. That's a fantastic shot. Clear intentions from the very first contact point. He had no other intentions rather than going after the bowler. That was a wild swing. Yasid. He looks a powerhouse to me. Loops up in the air. Well, the bowler, Ravindra Kumara, will have his last laugh. What a day he's having. With the ball in hand, grabs his 4th wicket. He gets smacked out of the park for a 6, and then comes back with a slower delivery. Deceives the batter. He pushes outside the off stump, catching practice for the fielder at backfoot of point. In fact, the cover fielder inside the 30-yard circle. A very short stay for Yasid Ashen. He departs for 6 of 4 deliveries. And with 59 on the board, Powerhand Plantation, they loses their 7th wicket. Quick single. Loveno is done. 60 on the board for the loss of 7 wickets. Nimesh Bandar will continue. He had a very good over. 1 for 3 in his first over. And he continues with his line and length. He's getting a little bit of bounce, getting the ball to move away from the right hand batter. I'm surprised after 11 overs, the ball still doing a little bit of talking. That's a poor delivery, given the treatment. That'll be 4 runs. Varuna taking use of the poor delivery, giving it the treatment, punishing it towards the fine leg fence. Very important runs. Every run from here will be very crucial. A very rare poor delivery by Nimesh Bandar. He has been spot on this morning. He has been hitting those sweet spots. Very nicely done. Gets to the other end after a boundary. When you're trying to rebuild an innings, this is very important. Try and keep things simple. Make it really simple rather than trying anything fancy. Catching it in line with the stumps, but plays it into the gap. Gets a couple of runs. Smart piece of batting. Very watchful, Nimesh Bandara. A very short run up though, nothing serious, keeping things simple, realizing what's required at this point. 67 on the board for the loss of 7 wickets. Out at edge, quick single, direct hit. Would have been curtains for the batter. That was very close. Good over for the batting team. Completes over number 12. 68 for the loss of 7 wickets.
By looking at the way things panned out so far, there's only one team, and that's Ansell Textiles. Won the toss, done everything right, firmly in control. Down the leg side, an extra to the total. I have no doubts. Powerhand Plantation at this stage wouldn't mind receiving sundries, as many as possible. 12 over was done. Right at the beginning, we mentioned about Pasco. 160 is out of the equation. They'll settle for anything above 100 at this stage, with only 8 wickets, with only 3 wickets in hand, 8 overs remaining. Ravindra Kumara, what an excellent spell into his 4th over, already picked up 4 wickets. He seems to be doing the basics really, really well. Strong team, already proven that, but cricket is a funny game. Lovely. Gentle hands and gets a single Now against the grain of play, Varuna and Ishan trying to stitch out a partnership. Projected scores at this stage, 114. I have no doubts they'll take that. They have only 3 wickets in hand. Oh, that's a good shot. Sounded nice off the bat. And goes all the way for a huge 6. He holds nothing back. Just as I say, against the run-off play, against the tide. Wasn't a bad ball. Straight in line with the stumps. He decided to go give the full Monty. Serious momentum, serious impetus into the run rate. Kumara just maybe trying to pick up another wicket. There's a good single. Sharp single. Good awareness. During this tournament, there has been just 1 5-wicket haul. That's a bit of a surprise. Having seen how many good bowlers performed exceptionally well, and Ravindra Kumara still in with a chance of picking up the fifer. With a bit of bounce. No, it's the call. He almost gone past the point of no return. Lucky reprieve. There has been far too many mistakes by Powerhand players. Trying to be innovative inside the first power play, last few wickets. This is exactly what they should be doing at this stage. Run rate is up, 6 and over. And single to complete Ravindra Kumara's 4th. Excellent spell, 4 for 26 after 13, 78 for 7. Bright and sunny. It's been pretty warm right now. And these two bowlers bowling in tandem, building serious pressure. Nimesh Bandara, ideal foil for his bowling partner. The other end, he benefited from the pressure maintained by Nimesh Bandara. Into his 3rd over, given away 11 runs, picked up a wicket, and almost always utilizing that nagging line length. Just like that. Outside the off stump, moving in towards the batter. Gentle hand. Ishan picks up a single. They were hoped to have at least 6, maybe 5 wickets in hand, reaching the final 5 overs. That has been the pattern. There are instances, teams going on to score beyond 15 runs per over during the last 5 overs. Didn't get hold of that one. Will they come back for the second? Yes, they will. This is good. So this passage of play being a profitable one for Powerhand Plantation. They've lost 7 wickets. They needed a special effort. And Varuna and Ishan seems to be settling in to do that job. Nimesh Bandara hardly provides any room outside the off stump. That has been the key right throughout this tournament when it comes to gentle seam bowling. Goes aerial and he clears the infield. Goes all the way. That part of the field pretty bare, sandy, and ball travels pretty fast. Whichever the case, he timed it superbly. Varuna gets another boundary. Score move up to 85. Serious momentum. The tail starting to wag. They're going to need every bit of it. After losing their top order pretty cheaply. A full toss. Good hands opening the bat blade and gets another single. Very good over so far. They picked up 8 runs with a delivery to come. Nimesh Bandara wasn't bowling all that badly, but good to see batters trying to be innovative, trying to take the initiative, trying to force the issue. This is good cricket. Wasn't a bad piece of bowling, but a sharp single and an overthrow resulted in another run. Excellent over, 11 runs off, just the kind of over Powerhand Plantation was expecting. Plenty of cheering going on as they complete the 14th, 88 for 7. When you look at tournaments overall figures, average runs per innings, just 134, and it's going up as we are reaching the business end of this tournament. Very competitive one. I've already mentioned that. Stacked division. 24 teams, 6 groups, and each group is a tough ask to be at the top of the table. And so, lovely cricket. Intelligent cricket, and the outfield will always does the rest. A full toss instead of smashing it. Delightfully played. 92 for 7. Now trying to push them into a good launching pad. These two, they have 3 wickets in hand. These two have well settled and scoring freely. Varuna in particular, who moves to 24. Picking up that boundary. Delightful, gentle little dab down the leg side. Under normal circumstances, you would see a batter would try to blast that one away for another huge 6. How about that? Out of nowhere. Serious momentum. Powerhand Plantation back in business. They were given away the initiative under the pump. And these two have decided it's time for them to switch out a partnership at a hectic rate. 10 runs already. Chanaka Veerasinghe coming into the attack straight away, feeling the heat. Little flatter, quicker. Decided to come over. Left arm orthodox spin bowlers have done exceedingly well during this tournament. Down the leg side once again finds a gap. This time fielder is in the deep. Will only be a single. This is excellent cricket. We've spoken about dot ball percentage 46. That'll do it. The way to move forward. Picking up singles. Get things moving. Feel good about yourself. Room outside the off stump finds a fielder and they picks up another boundary. How about that? Excellent placement right between 2 fielders. Chanaka Veerasinghe under the pump concedes another boundary. Very expensive, over 15 runs with a delivery to come. Ishan moves to 13. Varuna on 31. Powerhand Plantation. Just what the doctor ordered as far as the concerns. Ishan on to 13. Varuna is the more enterprising batter who's capable of clearing the boundary. We've already seen that. That's Hettiarach's figures. 13 bowls, 13 runs. Ideal foil. Excellent partnership is in progress. Trying to get Powerhand Plantation into some decency. Excellent over. 16 runs off. 15 overs done. 104 for 7. Here's a look at the batting. No partnerships. Shamika out for 24. Batted well. But now, Varuna Udara and Ishan Hettiarach taking up the responsibility. and batted intelligently. Just 6 extras. Credit goes to Ansell bowling. Won the toss, just about did everything right. Now, these two batters trying to break free. Here's bowling. Ravindra Kumar, excellent spell. 4 wickets, given away 26 runs. Ably supported by Nimesh Bandara, 1 for 21. He got over up his sleeve. Veerasinghe was very, very expensive. 16 runs off his first over. Interesting passage coming up. Lovely hands once again into the deep, gets a single. They've given them a chance of once again looking at the possibilities of going past 150. 29 deliveries remaining. They can score another 45 runs. I can tell you that will be a very, very competitive score considering how good Powerhand Plantation bowling is. Coming down the track goes aerial, fielding the deep, had absolutely no chance. Bounce once into the fence, 4 more runs. So that's excellent piece of batting by Varuna. Taken measures to put the bowlers to the sword. 5 runs already. There you go. 2 sixes, 4 boundaries. Lovely piece of bowling. A Yorker, in-swinging Yorker. He somehow manages to get a little bit of bat and gets a single. That's excellent cricket all round. Now all of a sudden, and Sri Lanka, having done so well, had their noses in front. Now it's pretty even, Steven. 110. Lost 7 wickets. They've got just under 5 overs remaining. A full toss. Another boundary. How about that? Aggression. Holds nothing back. And Kokul Raj is under pressure. Forgetting the basics. Just maybe going for a slower delivery. Miscued that. And batter took the opportunity. Picks up a boundary. 114. Things looking up once again for Powerhand Plantation. We mentioned right at the beginning this should be a very, very exciting encounter. It's been proven already. Nicely bowled. Equally well played. They will come back for the second. Excellent cricket. Considering the crowd attendance in mercantile cricket, I can tell you Powerhand Plantation, they've been supported really, really well, even during the D Division tournament. And we find the same in F Division. They got quite a few exciting players, and Varuna is definitely one of them. 36, just 15 deliveries, keeping up the momentum, giving them a chance of going past 150. If that happens, this will be a one heck of a game, I can tell you that. Here's the final delivery. 14 runs already. Gets a single. Excellent finish. Oh, for a moment thought that was straight to the fielder, but instead he found the gap, picks up another boundary. Huge over. 15 runs off. Kokul Raj proven very expensive. 4 overs, 31 for 1. After 16, things looking up for Powerhand Plantation. 120 for 7.
Things have really changed in the past 4 overs. The Powerhand Plantations coming back into this game. Now, this is what I was talking about in my previous session. You give a little bit of time out there in the middle, and you could get a total where your bowlers will have something to bowl at. Close call. With 4 overs to go, a runner ball will get them to 143 runs. And I'm pretty sure the way these two batters have been batting out there in the middle, they're going to cross that amount for sure. Lakshman Bandara has been pumped down to the fine leg boundary for 4 runs. Well, that's been signalled as leg byes. Well, the pendulum is shifting towards the Powerhand Plantations. Now, this is the beauty about this game. It's always an unpredictable game. At the end of 10 overs, there were just 50 plus runs for the loss of 6 wickets. But just 6 overs after that, things have completely changed. Chance of a run-up, but makes it quite comfortably. Varuna has done the bulk of the damaging. 37 of 18. But no muck with the bat for Ishan as well. 25 of 18. Both these batters, they've really gone after the bowlers. They've caught the back game under the control of their hands. This is very good. Very watchful there. Considering the previous overs, this has been a better over. Just the 5 runs. There was 4 leg byes as well. Once again, spreads it down the leg side and will be 4 more leg byes. This is absolutely disappointing. Really disappointing with short fine leg inside the boundary. Inside the 30-yard circle. Spraying it down the leg side is asking for trouble. Yes, it has not damaged the figures of the bowler, but 4 runs, that's always going to hurt the Ansell Lanka. I just feel that they have let go this game. 129 on the board. Smart piece of batting. 10 runs coming off that over. 17 overs done. 130 for the loss of 7 wickets. Three overs to go. Beautiful delivery. Just outside the off stump. Well, if they could get past 150, that'll be definitely a bonus. Because 150 plus will be always a challenging target. Nicely worked on. These two batters, they're doing it really smart. Through deliveries, it has been a quiet over so far, just a couple of runs. Chances down the track, tracks back the length. Oh, poor bit of fielding. That'll help them to come over another run. This is not good. The body language indicates that Ansell Lanka are really feeling the pressure. The 8-wicket stand, it has been a great one. Once again, works it onto the leg side. They might look for a second run. Happy to settle down with one. They have been busy, these two batters. This is what I like about these batters. They have not relied only on the big shots. They look for those singles as well. 5 runs off this over. Just like that. Should be a couple of runs here. Beautiful, in fact. That will go past to the boundary. For a bit of fielding inside the circle at short extra cover. That should have been just the 1 run. Maybe even not a run if that was stopped inside the circle. But what a productive over once again. 9 runs coming off that. This is what I usually like about 5 singles of the very first 5 deliveries and a boundary of the last one. 139 for 7. $139 on the board. Varuna unbeaten on 42. Ishan unbeaten on 30. Both these batters, they've done a lot of hard work to bring out Powerhand Plantations from where they were. Works it on towards the fine leg. Should be a couple of runs, but they decide to settle down for 1. Good bit of fielding near the boundary. Varuna is back on strike, and I'm pretty sure that he's going to swing hard here. Short, but down the leg side. Wicketkeeper isn't happy. Wide call by the umpire. The bowlers probably trying to stay away from the hitting arc of Varuna. He's very strong downtown and over mid-wickets. Just like that, I was speaking about him being strong, but he pumps down straight into the hands of the long-off fielder. Got the elevation, but not the distance. It was probably flat-battered, but he has played his part. 42 of 21 deliveries. Standing ovation from his teammates. He deserves it. And really gave it a punch when the team really wanted him. 42 of 21 with 5 boundaries and couple of sixers, with a strike rate of 200, 140, 1 for 8. The new man walks out to the middle. Lakshman Bandara. He managed to grab the wickets, a very important one, especially with just the 10 deliveries to go in these innings. Full toss. Drives it through the covers. That'll just scream towards the boundary for 4 runs. Poor delivery. Asking for trouble, in fact. That was powerfully struck, I need to tell you that. The outfield is brilliant here at the Nalanda College Cricket Grounds. The grass has been trimmed well. And once you get a little bit of good wood on the ball, as fielders, it's tough time for you. Quick single. Probably leg buys. Let's wait for the umpire's signal. He's happy with that. Probably got a little bit of inside edge onto the pads maybe. Even though they have lost a wicket in this over. It has been a productive one. 7 runs coming off this over so far. Oh, that was smart batting. Just tucked it off and crossed over a single. Once again, 10 runs coming off that over. With 1 delivery to go, in fact, 8 runs coming off this over so far. Beg your pardon. 1 delivery left, 147 on the board. Surely 150 would be achievable. Chances down the track. Doesn't connect well. That completes over number 19. 148 for 8. Right then, we are into the last over of this innings. A very important one. The spinner, Madhusan Sanjay, will continue. Smashes it! Poor bit of fielding at deep long off. That'll be 4 runs. This has been the story. They were brilliant in the outfield during the first 10 overs, but since then things have really changed. 150 up on the board for Powerhand Plantations. Wikash on strike. Goes big. Should spin away. But just the 1 run. Very importantly, Ishan is back on strike. Madhushan Sanjay trying to pull back the length a little bit. Not bowling into the arc of these right-hand batters. Dances down the track. This is good bowling. Pulling the length. He knows that if he goes full, he's going to travel the distance. So it's very important to make sure that he pulls that hard length. Gets an outside edge. But luckily, there is a short third man fielder. So far, things have been good. Just the 7 runs being the last over. As a bowling unit, you take it. The skipper. Looking for a cheeky shot. That'll probably run towards the boundary. A very good shot from Ishan. Using all his experience. A very important boundary, a very crucial one. Now that makes it an expensive over. 11 runs coming off this over so far, with 1 delivery to go. Ishan tries to go big, fails to make contact, but wide call by the umpire. 160 on the board. This is great piece of recovery from Powerhand Plantation. Goes over, but straight into the hands of the backward of point fielder. That's the 9th wicket down, but they wouldn't really matter it, especially after that poor start they got. They have recovered really well. This is very good. Absolutely good recovery from Powerhand Plantation. They end up at 160 after 20 overs. It has been a great effort by the Powerhand Plantations. They managed to recover from where they were after 10 overs. Good finish to the innings. especially with the partnership for the 8th wickets. Things have really turned differently. Let's take a quick look at the batting card. If you take a close look at that, you could clearly see that none of the batters in the top order hardly contributed. They got off to starts, but hardly they managed to convert them. But right at the latter part of the innings, Ishan Hettiarachchi and Varun Udara really took this game away from Ansell Lanka, really pumping things off. Varuna finishing off at 42 of 21. 17 extras, and after 20 overs, they stand at 160 for 9, which I would say is a very good total. Right, then let's take a quick look at the bowling card. They were pretty impressive at the start of the innings. If you take a closer look at that, Ravindra Kumara, the standout for me. 4 wickets for 26 runs. He was very good at the beginning of the innings, but unfortunately, things completely changing at the latter part. The bowlers getting a pump, and that one partnership for the 7th wicket, that was absolutely brilliant. 82 runs for the 8th wicket really helped Powerhand Plantations to get to 160. Right then, the total 160 for 9. They'll need 161, and Sri Lanka, when they're out there in the middle, chase down. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back with the run chase.
Welcome back to Now on the Grounds, Colombo 10. The chase is on. Powerhand Plantation putting up a good score on the board. 160 for 9 in their allotted 20 overs. It will be a stiff challenge, I have no doubts. Powerhand Plantation, they have a very strong bowling lineup. They've proved that by winning the first game convincingly. But this will be a very, very close affair against Ansell Lanka, looking to win their third game. And on the other hand, Powerhand Plantation looking to win their second game. Both the teams so far has proven very, very good. Ansell Textiles winning the toss, had no hesitation in deciding to bowl first. I thought they've done really well by picking up 7 wickets. Sit on their laurels. They thought they've done enough, but that excellent partnership between Udara and Rishan taken Powerhand Plantation to a challenging score. Right at the beginning we mentioned 160 par score and makes it a very, very interesting chase. F Division T20 tournament. Powerhand gets them on the way, off the back foot, gently dabbed away, and they are off the mark. Right throughout this tournament, it's been proven scores around 170, 180. Very, very challenging. So they need a very decent start. Contrastingly, Powerhand Plantation got off to a torrid start. Slower through the air. He just worried about getting it in the right areas. Not providing room, first delivery, treated gently. Live pictures coming your way courtesy of Sporty.lk. And there's another match taking place at Dharmapara Grounds, Panipitia. He immediately decides to go aerial. Fielder settles underneath it. And this will be a very, very interesting call. Fielder took it, throwed it up as he goes past the boundary line. Follow-up fielder. This is fantastic fielding. They've done it pairing up. Big wicket and interesting call. Looks like the umpires have decided to give that one. Ansell Lanka losing their first wicket. This is the first over in action. Not the way you would have expected to start things off, chasing 160. But excellent start. That part of the field pretty bare. And the fielder has to run a long way, running back, and took the catch. He knew immediately he will definitely go past the boundary line. But before that, throws the ball up. Follow-up fielder does the rest. Excellent piece of fielding. The Centurion is in action. Tisaru Fernando. There are 3 Centurions during this tournament. The MCA Fair First F Division cricket tournament in full swing at Now on the Grounds. Just the kind of start they've expected. There you go, that 100. Unbeaten century. And that was previous game. He's in red hot form. Good average. Decent strike rate. Kasun Nirosh. That was struck fairly well. Gain height instead of distance. Boundaries just about 65 yards. Nothing more than that. But this outfield ball travels lightning quickly. Well ball, gentle hand. He's very keen on going for a single. I like the energy by Powerhand Plantation fielders. Excellent catch. I wouldn't mind having another look, whichever the case. Just the kind of start. So the tide is in favor of Powerhand Nirosh. Pretty decent bowling figures, I can tell you. He completes a very good over, picked up a wicket, given away just a single. Excellent start. 1 for 1 after first. I mentioned about 3 Centurions. 2 of them will be in action here at Nalanda grounds later on. Camera LK will be in action against Empire Tees. And the tournament's leading run getter, Tesoro Fernando, yet to get off the mark. Chamod, who's on 1. There are 16 matches, 26 wickets. So he's a pretty decent bowler, expecting to do the job for Powerhand Plantations. Ansell Textiles unbeaten so far, perhaps the first time they are feeling the pressure. 8 matches, 7 wickets, 5 for 10. So he's a wicket taker, average, very good, economy, excellent. So he has picked up Pfeiffer. Gentle right arm medium outside the off stump. Good channel. Once you find that nagging line and length, it's just about sticking to that. Chamod Sara. 21 matches, 809 runs. Best of 132. So he's one of their most prolific run scorers. Averaging 42. Strike rate, very good. A full toss. And, oh, bit of a juggle. And he drops it. Unfortunate for the bowler. And it's a no ball. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. Chamod was very lucky. Tried to hit it too hard, inner part of the bat. No real power behind that. And Yasit Ashin just didn't manage to grab that one. A no ball, free hit coming up. Down the leg side, just a single, no real damage with regard to the free hit. So only a couple so far. Yasit Ashin off to a pretty decent start. Ideally suited in this format. These matches are played on a mat. You generally get a little bit of bounce and carry to the wicket keeper. Gentle seamers does really well. Even in this tournament, we've seen gentle seamers more or less had the upper hand. That has found really hard to get away. As a result, average per innings score just 134 runs. We are expecting that to go up. Off the back foot. Good techniques on display. Obviously. A Centurion. Tesoro Fernando. Genuine all-rounder. Done superbly well with the ball in hand. But towards the latter part, they lost the initiative as a result, chasing down a fairly big score, needing 158. They have 111 balls. Very, very interesting chase is on the cards. Here goes Ariel, gain height. And the fielder does the rest. Very proficient fielding unit, settled underneath and takes a good catch. Big fish. Centurion, apart from scoring that century, there hasn't been too many runs for Tesoro Fernando. He's out for naught in early troubles. Ansell Textiles for the first time in real pressure. Right arm. Gentle seam bowler Yasit Ashin picks up a wicket. During this tournament, I've already mentioned right arm or left arm seamers done fairly well. Very, very hard to get away if they find the right line of length, which was the case previous delivery, and Ashin pitches it in line with the stumps. Chamod for a strange reason going aerial. Gained lots of height, not the distance. Once again, fielder does a fantastic job. This is just about the same way Powerhand Plantation started off their innings. Ansell under pressure. Way outside the off stump. We've been praising him for bowling good lines and lengths. He immediately decided to slip one way outside the off stump, concedes another single, score moves up to 4. Required run rate 8.62. Partnerships at this stage is the key. Lakshanta, highest of 62, averaging 19. Once again, little too far outside. Ansell Textile definitely wouldn't mind that. We saw Powerhand Plantation losing 7 wickets, not even 70 runs on the board. After that, that outstanding partnership took them out of trouble. Now dictating terms once again for a strange reason, going for the gentle push, gone aerial. No real chance. Immediately setting off for a single and gets it quite easily. We are starting to notice complete contrast when it comes to the energy levels on display by Powerhand Plantation fielders. Looks like a team drilled really well in the field. Taking the aerial route, bounced just a couple of times, tickles past the boundary for a much needed boundary. I can tell you, they were under pressure, searching for a boundary. Sacrificed 2 wickets after 2 now. 2 down for 10. Here's the equation: 151, 108 deliveries. They've lost 2 wickets. That's the only problem, which is exactly the problem faced by Powerhand Plantation batters at this stage. So no real advantage in terms of first power play. There's the wicket taker once again back into the attack, into his second over. Must be feeling confident about himself after picking up a wicket. 2 dangerous batters back in the hut. They are in control. Gentle tap. He was very keen on going for a single. No, it's the call. And I can tell you it's the right one. Current run rate 4.62. Required run rate 8.47. It's going up. Started up, needed 8. Now it's reaching towards 9 and over. That's a nice shot. Once again, the same fielder takes another blinder. Astana, what a fielder. Judged it to perfection, if I'm not mistaken. That's Varuna Udara, who batted superbly. His confidence, having batted so well, spurring to his fielding. This is brilliant stuff. 3 down for 10 now. I certainly wouldn't mind having another look at that catch. All 3 dismissals, courtesy of good catchers. And the fielders done fantastically well. And Udara, such a fine fielder, runs a long way. Never easy when you're running back. He judged it to perfection. There's no question as to which team is in front, and that's Powerhand Plantation. After picking up 3 wickets, we are still inside the first power play. Under pressure, and Ansell Textile needing a good partnership. Will they be able to stitch out a partnership at this stage and coming back into this game, just like the Regard action done by Powerhand Plantation batters, Udara and his partner. Superb job being done. Taken them right back into this game, if I'm not mistaken. They were under 70 runs, lost 7 wickets, and we were talking about reaching 130 would be a hard job, but just one partnership taken them out of trouble, and they are right now dictating terms. Such a fine delivery. Nirosh looking for his 3rd wicket, just by sticking to basics. They're not trying to do anything extravagant. Ravindra Kumar of 5 matches, 81 runs, best of 58. He's going to need every bit of it, averaging 27. Strike rate, excellent. So he's the man who can do the job. Oh, wild heave. It was way outside the off stump, wide. But by chasing it down, he probably would have given a chance for the wicket keeper. All it needed is just a faint touch. Target 161. Just about building partnerships. We mentioned 3 century plus stands during this tournament. And if I'm not mistaken, 28 50 plus run stands. Bigger stand at a good rate is the requirement for Ansell Textile. Once again, way outside the off stump. He's a very canny operator. Opening up bowling, you would expect your bowlers to be fairly sharp, fairly quick, but he's a different type of bowler. Very gentle, slower through the air, and almost always on the offside. There was a scoring opportunity not taken. Down the leg side, Ravindra just maybe feeling the heat, and instead of searching for runs, he went for a gentle little glance. The wicketkeeper done a fine job. Off the back foot, try to glide that one towards extra cover region and get a single. Despite conceding few wides, still a great over. 2 for 3 for Nirosh. After 3, 12 for 3. Right at the beginning of this tournament, teams chasing done fairly well. But lately we found teams chasing, it's been a struggle. As a result, 52% of the matches won by teams batting first. Will that be another case of batting first and winning? Powerhand Plantation will definitely expecting that. Ashane. Firm push straight to the field for no run. This outfield gives plenty of value for your shots. We've seen that right throughout this game, as well as the round of matches happened here at Nalanda grounds. Pretty dry, fast, hard underneath. That was in line with the stumps. He was initially considering the possibility of whipping that one down the leg side. We saw a couple of dismissals, batters from Powerhand Plantation trying to replicate that. Couple of LBWs, Yasit Ashane is not doing anything out of the ordinary. Slammed away for a much needed boundary. Room outside the off stump, invitation extended. Yasit Ashane made the mistake, and Chamod needing no second invitation. Just slammed it away. Good thing about that shot, he had absolutely no intention of keeping it down. Worked in his favor. We saw during that partnership between Udara and his partner, they were picking up singles quite briskly. Just about single every delivery. Oh, prodigious bounce. Well taken by the wicketkeeper, well judged. Apart from conceding that boundary, Yasit Ashane. It's been a very, very good over so far. Chamod will be looking at the possibilities of occupying the crease for a fairly long period, at least 5, maybe 7 overs, and see where they stand, because he's capable just like that. There are no deep fielders, no need to run. Slammed away for another boundary. Just the way to do the things. When you're under pressure, take the attack to the bowlers. Advancing down the track, there was a little bit of room, and he freeing his arm and picks up another boundary. 8 runs so far, an expensive over. Chamod moves to double figures with that boundary. This is just about the same team Udara did for Powerhand Plantations. Whenever opportunity is provided, he waited patiently until they get these opportunities. He's been picking up singles, getting the scoreboard moving. That's the way to move ahead. Good hands, straight to the fielder. Good comeback after conceding 10 runs. Very expensive over. Just ended. 4 done, 22 for 3. During this tournament, we've seen quite a few games, all but one-sided. Teams winning with huge margins, at times over 100 runs, which was the case for Ansell Textiles against their opponent, Ranpad Group. But today, different proposition, much more efficient team. You can't bowl there. Not here at Nal on the grounds. Outfield, very, very fast. Give value for your shots. Ravindra just gets the value he deserves for that shot. Poor delivery down the leg side, just whipped it away for another boundary. Score moves up to 26. Serious momentum, 95 deliveries, 135 runs required to remain unbeaten. Answer. Oh, full Monty holds nothing back, slammed away over the bowler's head for a huge 6. So he is capable, after picking up that boundary, that momentum. We've spoken about it time and time again. 10 runs, just 2 deliveries. Nirosh under pressure. First two overs, he conceded just 2 runs. Now all of a sudden found himself under huge pressure. 13 given away. Little leg stumpish. There's a field in the deep. They will come back for the second. Tumbling effort. Could prevent the couple being taken. Kasun Nirosh. Just maybe skipper would have considered the possibility of taking Kasun Nirosh out of the attack. 1 over too many. Looking at the way things panned out so far now. Required run rate has come down 8.19. It was hovering around 9 and over for a brief period. 127 of 93, very much within their capabilities. Wild heave, loud shout, umpire unmoved. Just maybe try to blast that one little too hard, losing the shape of the shot, and wide enough. There was a little bit of room. Just maybe try to blast the cover of the ball. That was the mistake. Straight to the fielder. I've already said that I like the energy on display by Powerhand Plantation fielders, just about all of them. Fielders who are inside the 30-yard circle in particular. Goes aerial, fielder settling underneath. Safely taken, safe as a house. Another one bites the dust. Brief period of ecstasy comes to an end for Ansell Textile, losing another wicket. 4 down for 34 now. Batsman out, Ravindra. Little cameo comes to an end, just 9 deliveries, 12 runs. Canny bowler, despite being expensive, picks up another wicket. So that's the story so far after 5, 34 for 4.
Right, we're done with 5 overs. 34 for the loss of 4 wickets. Once again, it has been a tough start for Ansell Lanka, just like the Powerhand Plantations were struggling in their first few overs. It has been the same story. 34 for 4 after 5, chasing down a total of 161 in the allocated number of 20 overs. So it is a big ask at this point. 127 more runs required of 90 deliveries, but it is not something that is unachievable, especially in this format of the game. 20 overs beside the batters, you would expect them to take on the bowlers, but the fact is that they have lost the 4 wickets to the opening bowlers of Ansell, in fact Powerhand Plantation. So it's a tough ask for these batters. They need to put on a partnership as well. Chamod, the previous batter, he was batting well, 11 of 16, but unfortunately he was caught cheaply trying to go up and over the offside. That took off sharply. Kasun Nirosh, he has done the bulk of the damage against the Ansell Lanka. 3 for 15 in his 3 overs. He has been spot on. He has been very disciplined with the ball in hand. He's asked a lot of questions from the batters. Has a very decent run up, a good follow through, generates a good amount of pace as well. So it's not easy for the batters out there. Change of pace. He has a bag of variations under his shoulders as well. So this is what makes a bowler unique. Rather running in one after the other and just hitting the deck. Bring on those variations. Create the doubt in the batter's mind. That is what is important. Once again, back of the hand, slower delivery. You could see the batter going into the short touch earlier. This is very good bowling. Chasing down a total of 160. You could call it a moderate total in this form of the game, but when you're 34 for 4, the story is different. Goes for a slower delivery once again, but it clears long off quite comfortably. That's a big shot. 1 too many. He was good. When he was good, but this is completely an unwanted delivery. Beg your pardon, this is Ashen Silva who is operating. There you go, the wicket keeper, the skipper, walking up to the bowler, just giving him a little bit of advice. Don't try anything fancy, just stick to the basics. Looks like we might need to change the ball. A match referee, the standing match official for the day, Mr. Chiron Vijayvardhana. He'll hand over the ball to the umpires, so it needs to be a ball very similar. That's the question. 120 required of 87 deliveries. Not a big ask, but with 6 wickets in hand, as batters, you need to be always cautious. Umpires just making sure that they find the perfect match when they're selecting the balls. Right, that's the batting card for you. Chamod Chamatsra, the opening batter. The opening batter, he is out there in the middle. 22 of 14 with couple of sixes and couple of boundaries. He has been good with the bat in hand, but none of the other batters have really supported him. Couple of ducks in the middle and just the one run from Niroshan Ravindra Kumar, the previous batter who got dismissed. Chanaka Vijay Singh yet to face the ball. 6 extras, and Sri Lanka, they have been finding it hard out there in the middle against the Powerhand Plantation bowlers. The bowlers have been very disciplined, I would say. Walking into the second innings, it was always Ansell Lanka who looked stronger, especially after that flushing end to their innings. Managed to get to 160. That's a beautiful delivery. That really took off. Now, this is what I was talking about Ashin Silva. The very first delivery he did bowl, even though it was a wide delivery, it really took off. It went away from the right-hand batter, so it's pretty evident that he is a natural swinger. He needs to try that. Rather looking for something different, just stick to the basics. Invite the batters to do the hard work. Just a couple of deliveries left in the mandatory power play. 5.4 overs, 42 on the board. The batters would try to maximize these last couple of deliveries. Leaves it alone. Chamod, 22 of 16 deliveries. Well, he would be the hope for Ansell Lanka because he has spent some time out there in the middle, so he can't afford to throw away his wicket as well. Leaves it alone again, surprisingly, during the power play. 6 overs done. 42 for 4. 42 for 4. Well, we are done with the power play. So the skipper of Powerhand Plantations, he will have the liberty of spreading off the field. That will add a little bit of extra pressure for the batters as well because they can't really swing their bats, but there is a lot of real estate around where they could work it around and look for those quick singles and twos. Just a couple of close-in fielders in front of the batter's eye line. A short extra cover and a short mid-wicket. A loud appeal. Umpire indicating that it just brushed the pads on its way. So it's been a good over so far. 3 dot deliveries to start off after the power play. Cuts it, looks for a quick single. That's trouble. That's trouble. That was not required. Chanaka, he departs without troubling the scorers. Now that's the third batter who departs in this innings without troubling the scorers. Disappointing. Straight into the hands of the short third man fielder. Surely there was no run there. That was the right call by the non-striker because if they had taken off, surely the settled batter Chamud would have been run out. That's the right call. But unfortunately, it costs a wicket for Ansell Lanka. They fall into deep waters. 42 for 5 after 6.3 overs. Right, then we have the new man walking out to the middle, confirming his guard from the umpire. Looks a built man, Kapila. Kokul Raj out there in the middle. Lots of experience, good strike rate. And I just had a look at him. Promises to be a good batter though. Straight away gets off the mark. It has been a very successful over so far. Just the one run conceded. Looking for a quick single. That's brilliant work at the outfield. Fantastic work. But unfortunately, that will not stop the batters from crossing over a single. 7 overs done. 44 for 5. That's the equation. 117 of 78 deliveries is a long way to go, though. They'll have to craft this innings in a way they could settle things off, probably in the last 5 overs. 50 of the last 5, I would always take it, with maybe 5 wickets in hand. But that's a long way to go. These two batters, they can't afford to lose their wickets at this point. That is very important. They need to keep that in mind. It's 44 for 5. Ashane will continue. That's high up in the air. Got a outside edge, but safe enough. Folding in between the two fielders at point and deep third man. If you're just joining us, we're coming to you live from the Nalanda College cricket grounds. And Sri Lanka winning the toss, deciding to bowl first. They got off to a good start with the ball in hand. Powerhand Plantations for 50 plus for the loss of 5 wickets at the end of 10 overs. But managed to put on a very competitive total of 160 at the end of their 20 overs. Now in response, and Sri Lanka, they're struggling. 46 for the loss of 5 wickets after 7.2 overs. A long way to go to chase down this total of 161. Beautiful shot, but into the bucket and out she goes. That will surely go down as a missed chance. The wicket of the big fish, Chamul, is on 25 and he has been dropped at deep long off. That was a regulation catch. Disappointing for the bowler himself. He did the hard work. very unfortunate. Smiles around. The batter collecting the ball and handing it over to the bowler. Cricketing rules can give yourself out, mate. You shouldn't be doing that. Trying to cut outside the off stump. That's actually a friendly gesture from the batter. Just picking up the ball and handing it over to the bowler. But according to the cricketing rules, if the fielding teams make an appeal, make a request from the umpire, that could be considered to be given as out. Handling the ball, that's one way you could get yourself out. That could make things worse. That would be the last thing that Sri Lanka would want. 8 overs done, 48 for 5. Shamodhi has got a second life. He was dropped on 24 in the previous over. So now the important fact is he will need to capitalize. Kukul Raj on strike. Oh, castles him. What a delivery from Ishan Hettiarachchi. That just went straight on with the arm. Kukul Raj playing for turn and gets his timber disturbed. That was a great piece of bowling. Ishan Hettiarachchi, he's on song. He manages to grab his second wicket for the day. But now, that was very special. Deceiving the batter. That one going through the arm. No bite off the surface. Tips off the middle stump. That's the 6th wicket down. Things aren't looking good now. 48 for 6. The new man walks out to the middle, Asanka. Very watchful, very defensive. He knows that the team is in trouble now. 113 more runs required of 70 deliveries. Asanka Kumara, lots of experience, 28 matches, a good strike rate, I'd call it. They might need to improve on that. Beautiful delivery. The exact delivery that got rid of Kukul Raj. The one that goes in with the arm, the straighter delivery. Asanka was lucky. He played it forward, but Kukul Raj, he tried to cut it off on square. No run. This has been a very good over so far. 4 dot deliveries and a wicket. Yet to get a mark off this over. Beautiful delivery, but equally well played. Probably a couple of runs. The slip fielder for a moment might have been interested, but it was played well. It was played with control. Asanka gets off the mark. Could deliver again. Will be just the 1 run. Bleeds over number 9. 50 up on the board. 51 for 6. Well, that's a comparison between the two teams. The worm looks wobbling around. But the fact is that if you take a quick look at those wickets falling in regular intervals, that has been the downfall for Ansell Lanka. 51 for 6 after 9 overs, chasing down a mammoth target of 161. From this point, it's going to be very tough. Very tough. But a good partnership would definitely help them, like the Powerhand Plantations had one for the 8th wicket, 82-run partnership. Looking for a quick single. If you take a close look at the body language of the Ansell Lanka fielders, they're pumped up. They're really pumped up. They know that they have this game under control, unless if these two batters put on a partnership just like we had one for the Power Plant. Gets the outside edge. Asanka decides to fish outside the off stump, and he gets trapped. The wicket keeper, he gets a regulation catch. Ashwin Silva, he will have his last laugh. Isn't he delighted? Smiles on their faces. Another one bites the dust for Ansell Lanka. A very short stay for Asaka Kumara. He departs for 3 of 7 deliveries. And that has been the story. Wickets falling one after the other. It has been a disappointing innings. 51 for 7. Nimesh, the new man, who has walked out to the middle. Just the 7 games. Nothing much on offer. Highest run of 48 runs. That would really help at this point if we can do a repeat of that. 4 more deliveries left in this over. Bliss, he looks for a quick single. Well, it's all happening out there in the middle. Brilliant fielding. Fantastic run. There was surely a run which was cut down. Every run would matter at this point. Throwing themselves around. A very positive body language by these fielders. They're sensing something positive coming for them. Oh, that really took off once again. This is very good. They're bowling to a plan. They're sticking to the basics. hitting that just short of the good length, getting the ball to talk off the surface. And again, is a carbon copy of the previous delivery. Just takes off from the good length, troubling the batters, trying to cut. No contact for the past two deliveries. Nimesh yet to get off the mark. He's faced the three deliveries. Does a little bit of change. Drives it off the front foot. Half stage of the game done. 52 for 7.
Just about the same stage, Powerhand Plantation had the same issue of losing too many wickets. They lost their 7th wicket when the score was just 59 runs. But an outstanding partnership for the 8th wicket between Shane and Udara resurrected things. For the same reason, Ansell needing something similar. 60 deliveries, 109 runs. Off the back foot, try to glide that one towards short third man region. Ishan Hettiarachi, who's been doing a fine job. Picked up a wicket in his 3rd over. Keep things very, very tight. Single down the ground, nothing more than that. Nimesh, he needs to keep company. Chamod, he looks like a player who can do the job for Ansell without a doubt. Compact looking techniques, someone who can occupy the crease for a longer period. Already hit few scintillating boundaries. One strike, Chamod. Hettiarachi, different proposition, very accurate left arm orthodox spin bowler. This time, however, down the leg side, a wide. Comparing these two teams, I think both the teams fairly evenly matched. But when you take the standards of fielding into account, I think far better side Powerhand Plantation. Looks like a team that, given the priorities when it comes to their fielding efforts, they must be training hard, drilling hard, and showcasing excellence in the field. Quicker, angle it down the leg side, another wide. Just about the same stage we thought. Powerhand Plantation not standing a chance of getting close to 150, but instead, just by building up a good partnership, single down the ground, Chamod, he looks very, very good. Very elegant looking player. Strong down the ground. Already a couple of scintillating boundaries, just as I mentioned. In line with the stumps. Absolutely no opportunities for Nimesh to free his hands. Strong looking man. I have no doubts, if needed, someone who's capable of clearing the boundaries. Gentle hands straight to the fielder. Dot ball to complete another fantastic over. 11 down, 56 for 7. .105 needing, and they have only 3 wickets in hand, 54 deliveries. Tough ask. They put themselves under pressure. Just dig a hole for themselves and finding themselves in a tough position. 11.67 with only 3 wickets in hand. Something special required. And that's the man who can do it. Chamod was on 26, but he needs the rest of the batters to bat around him and providing that much needed support. Otherwise, at this stage, it looks unlikely, but cricket is a funny game. We've seen classic example in the morning in the same position. They were Powerhand Plantation. He intentionally played it on the up, and this outfield, as always, gives value for your shots. Another boundary. Run rate creeping up. You need at least a boundary per over from this point onward if you are to stand any chance of doing well in this game. So for the first time in this tournament, Ansell Textile is looking at the possibility of going down. Unbeaten so far, but it's proven very, very tough against Powerhand Plantation. Flatter got behind the delivery really nicely. He looks a very steady operator, Varuna Udara, who's done a fantastic job in the morning with the bat. He was outstanding in the field. Now gets his opportunity with the ball in hand. Oh, that sounded nice. Just over the fielder. I mentioned they've been maintaining such high standards when it comes to their fielding, but on that occasion he stood no opportunities. He was jumping up, leaning up, but enough behind that shot. Chamod moves to 36. So he's someone who's capable of picking up boundaries from time to time, which is exactly the requirement. Goes to tell you how good that partnership was for Powerhand Plantation. 82 runs, and thanks to that, right now they are in the box seat. Udara gets flatter and quicker, deploying the outside, the off-stump line of attack. Ooh, not too far away from the field, I can tell you. Diving to his left, intentionally played it on the up. Just about this outfield, as always, from his gives value for your shots. Another boundary, fairly good over as far as Ansell Textile is concerned. 11 runs off just about the required run rate.
The boundary per over from this point onward if you are to stand.
Fantastic over, 11 runs, 12 runs off in fact.
Game.
Way to go. It's just about maintaining the momentum. 12 done, 68 for 7.
Ansell Textiles looking at the possibility of going.
Ansell during their first two games, once again having a look at the equation. 93 runs, 48 deliveries. It's possible, definitely probable, but they're going to need a good partnership to stand any chance of doing it. That two worms very close to each other at this stage, neck and neck. So it's been fast proving the value of that outstanding partnership. Down the leg side should only be a single. At this stage, Powerhand Plantation bowlers and fielders, they are not too worried about conceding singles or twos. As long as they prevent boundaries, with every over, they are increasing their chance of winning this game. He's the only man who can do the job for Ansell Textiles, winning their first game against South Asia Gateway Terminals by 18 runs, beating Ranpat Group by 108 runs. For the first time, looking down the barrel. Ishan Hettiarachi just about to complete his spell of bowling. 1 for 10. He's been outstanding in the field, just about all the fielders. There you go. Very little you can do as a batter. And you're deploying a line of operation being deployed by Ishan Hettiarachi outside the line of the off stump. One would go in with the arm and one turns away from the outside edge. Extra cover region. Fielder gets behind, just a single, no real damage there. For a strange reason, they are considering the possibility of coming back for the second. 2 was definitely not on. Played straight at the fielder. He's been doing such a fantastic job. We've already identified few teams who have remained unbeaten. Looks like Powerhand Plantation increasing their chance of winning this game with every over. Bowling pretty decent. Skipper has been sitting his field, pretty much covering all the loopholes. Shorter outside the off stump, just a single. So that'll do the job for Powerhand Plantation without a doubt. I already mentioned singles and twos not gonna do the job. It's about boundaries. They need at least a boundary, if not 2. They ought to stand a chance. Straight to the fielder. Yet another dot ball. Just 4 runs of excellent spell of bowling. 4 overs, 1 for 13 after 13 overs. Ansell Textile 72 for 7. Right now we are focusing on the game in the middle of Nalanda College Grounds, Colombo 10. Yet another side from Ansell Lanka Private Limited Group playing. So Ansell, they've been doing well when it comes to their mercantile cricket. 14th over just about to start. Looks like we got a change in bowling. Skipper deciding to go back to a seam bowler. 42 balls, 89 runs, very much within their capabilities. But the question, do they have enough wickets in hand? Current run rate 5.54, which makes it even hard. Outside the off stump, gets it over the infield as usual. Outfield does the rest. Excellent start. Where to do it? New bowler back into the action. Ashane Silva. Short outside the off stump. An opportunity you're not going to miss. Chamod, not the kind of player. 31 deliveries, 43 runs against the run-off play. He's been isolated. He's the lone fighter for Ansell Textile. Didn't sound at all that good off the bat. I'm only starting to wonder whether he done a damage to his blade. Looking at it, just maybe. Cracks starting to appear. It doesn't sound good. Came off the meat of the bat, but didn't really gather enough pace. They've been very good. There aren't too many teams when it comes to their fielding does as good as Powerhand Plantation. I can tell you that. Few teams showcase the importance of backing your bowlers. That sounded nice into the deep. Excellent. I just mentioned about their fielding prowess. Classic example. Just finishes spell. Hetiarachi diving. He was fast moving. Very nimble footed. Light on his feet. Prevented a certain boundary. Well done. Brilliant job being done. Every run saved matters. 79 for 7. Now for the first time. Required run rate creeping up towards 13 and over. Ashane Silva. 7 runs so far. As long as you're not conceding beyond 12, 13 runs, Powerhand Plantation, they are safe. Excellent tournament. Very, very competitive one. That one kept low. Live pictures coming your way courtesy of Sporty.lk right throughout the day and right throughout this tournament. As we speak, couple of matches being played in and around Colombo at Dharmapala College Ground, Panipitia. That's the completion of the 14th 80-7. .81 runs required. This is getting in favor of Powerhand Plantation with every over, with every delivery. Done everything right. Found themselves under huge pressure, looking down the barrel, losing 7 wickets for just 59 runs. After that, Borna Udara and Ashane Silva build up an outstanding partnership, taken them right back in it. Now, as a result, now they have a very firm grip on this game. 15th over just about to start. Right arm off spin being brought into the attack. Off the back foot, glanced away and gets a single. 81-7. Run rate is creeping up, but the required run rate is also creeping up at an alarming rate. 13.71, almost 14 runs per over if they are to stand any chance of winning this game. And here's the man who can do it on 44, nearing well-compiled half-century. Full toss. He must be considering himself missed out on a scoring opportunity, fabulous scoring opportunity, but just maybe try to hit it too hard. Full tosses often provide boundary scoring opportunities. Here's the man, Varuna. That outstanding partnership. He's been struggling. 9 runs off 17 deliveries. Pressure builds up. Something special got to give. This is the 15th over in progress. They haven't launched. They haven't set up a good launching pad. I was just about to mention. On the back foot and given. Just maybe crashing into the leg stump is the call by the on-field umpire. Ravi Shankar picks up another very important scalp. Ansell Textile a down, and their chances of doing or winning this game quite remote now. Indecisive, not convincing. On the back foot, and LBW ball Charuka Ravi Shankar out for 9, eaten up 19 deliveries. With this performance, Powerhand Plantation will definitely raising their hands up and telling the rest of the team that we want to be among the teams who make a case of winning this fantastic tournament. 24 teams vying for glory. Only one team gets to win it. Their first priority is to move on to the second round. Right now, it looks good. Just in front, just on the verge of winning their second game on the trot. Lakshman Bandara, 24 innings, 278 runs, highest of 42, averaging 13.24. Strike rate isn't ideal, but today, got to do the job. Hard hands, pushed it through the line. Skipper wisely brought up a slip fielder. There are plenty of fielders on the offside. Slip fielder just been brought in, waiting in anticipation. Ravi Shankar not doing any harm. Just a single delivery remaining, considered 2 runs and already picked up a wicket. Here's the final delivery and stopped in his run up. Started to wonder whether the fielders change his fielding position. Whichever the case, reset, ready to go. That's the completion of a fantastic over. A wicket being taken, given away 2 runs. Right now, Powerhand Plantation in such a strong position out of 15 overs, 82 for 8.
Right, let's take a quick look at the batting card. Shamod Satsara, the opening batter out there in the middle, 45 of 33. He's been very good with the bat. 3 sixes and 4 boundaries, but unfortunately, none of the other players really stepping out to support his batting skills. 12 of 10 for Ravindra Kumar, the only man apart from Shamod Satsara to get past that 10-run mark. Apart from that, it has been a disaster for Ansell Lanka. 82 for 8 on the board after 15 overs with 9 extras. Bowling has been very good. They have been on song. They have asked the questions. Things have been really tough for Ansell Lanka. That took off Vikash Gomia. The skipper himself decides to bring him on with 58. No, it's 78 more runs required of 29 deliveries. I got my math wrong there. Beg a pardon for that. Chamo decides that it's time to take on the bowlers because they need to go after. They have very little time now to spend out there in the middle. They need to convert these 1s and 2s into big shots. Now, Vikash Gomia, 11 matches. 3 for 12 is best bowling figures. Handyman with the ball in hand. Trashes it outside the off stump. Completely misses it altogether. Lakshman, the new batter out there in the middle. Unfortunately, the tail enders, they'll find it very hard. It was the top order batters who should have done better. There you go. No foot movement. This time the umpire decides that it's a little bit too wide for the batter to reach out to it. 1 run added to the total. That's the previous delivery. Marginal. Slowly straight into the point fielder. Looks for a single, but nothing much they could do. 4 deliveries off this over. Just going for the couple of runs. It has been good. Very good. The Powerhand Plantations. They've kept things really tight. Going across the left-hand batter. It has been a very good strategy so far. It hasn't been easy for these batters out there in the middle. Sunny day, we could see some clouds hovering around the grounds, but no threat as of now. Surely going down the leg side, pitching outside the leg side. 16 overs done. 85 for 8. That's a comparison between the two worms. If you could see the blue worm starting off well, going up a little bit during the middle passage of the play, but just drifting down at this point. They're just losing their way. It was the same time that the Powerhand Plantations were cruising along. The batters were just hitting boundaries and sixes for fun during this period of their innings. It has been a completely a different scenario here. These batters finding it very hard. Lakshman, unfortunately, he's missed out on every opportunity. 8 deliveries yet to get off the mark. Trying to throw the kitchen sink at it. Oh, that spins away. That's a poor bit of fielding at the cover boundary. That should have surely been stopped. You know, if a ball is bouncing in front of you, it's going to spin away. Especially coming out. Lakshman, he gets off the mark with the boundary. 72 runs of 21 deliveries. This time he goes big. He clears long on quite comfortably. That's a big shot. That was taken on with power. Lakshman showing that he is capable to hit the long ball. And importantly, they'll need many more of that. That was full and asking for trouble. He just hammered it. Full toss this time. There is protection at long on. No run added to the total. In fact, 1 run. 96 on the board now. Chamod on strike. 46 of 35. He has been out there from the very first delivery, but unfortunately, he hasn't received any support from his fellow batters. He has been the lone warrior. Just over that field inside the mid-wicket region. There will be just the 1 run. 17 overs done. 97 for 8. Three more overs to go in the innings. Vikash Gomia will continue. He was very good with his first over. Just a couple of runs, the skipper himself. That's a fantastic shot. Beautifully placed. Brilliantly done by Chamod. And that'll get to the boundary in no time. And that's his half century. Going down on 1 knee, realizing there's no one behind square. 1 bounce into the square leg fence. Beautiful shot. And that's a very well played half century. There's a lot more to do. It goes across the line again. But smart piece of bowling by Vikash Gomia. He follows the batter. Hits that Yorker length. There you go. Got himself yoked. Disappointing. 60 of 16. They'll need a boundary of every delivery. Chances down the track. Surely will look for a couple of runs. Now they'll get it quite comfortably. Good running between the wickets. 100 up on the board for Ansell Lanka. It has been a fighting journey. It hasn't been really easy for them. Things have been tough. 1 or 2 batters, if they had stood up to support these men on screen, Chamod, things would have been completely different. Cuts it, and cuts it hard. Into the point boundary for 4 runs. This is great piece of batting. I'm just a little bit worried if it's coming too late at this point. He has a lot of shots in his bag. There was a cover fielder in the boundary. But that had enough legs to run to the boundary. 10 runs coming off this over so far. He'll need another couple of big shots. Required run rate 23 for over. So that's a long way to go. He'll need a big one here. straight into the hands of the short wicket fielder. Even for over 10 runs coming off it. You can call it an expensive over, but the Powerhand Plantations will take it with both hands. Pulled it with enormous power straight into the hands of the short mid-wicket fielder. Will be a run out. Very unfortunate. But very importantly, Lakshman decides to sacrifice this wicket, securing the wicket of Chamod. Probably the right thing to do. He departs. That's the 9th wicket down. Let's take a quick look at that again. Straight into the hands of the short extra car fielder. There was surely no run there. The throw came in. The wicketkeeper had to do a little bit of homework to collect it. And Lakshman will depart. He will make that long walk back for 9 runs. That's the 9th wicket down. And Sri Lanka 107 for 9. Right then, we have the last man who has walked out to the middle. Probably very little he could do at this point. Chamod unbeaten on 57 of 42. 54 runs required of 12 deliveries. That's 27 runs required per over. He needs to smash 5 sixes. That's a big ask, isn't it? A very big ask. Kasun Nirosh. 3 for 15 of his 3 overs. He's been brilliant today. That has been skied up and straight into the hands of the deep cover fielder who runs in from the boundary. Kasun Nirosh will grab his 4th wicket. And Powerhand Plantation will take home a victory. Winning by 53 runs. Beating the unbeaten side of the tournament. And Sri Lanka will be very disappointed about their performance today. They're winning the toss. Here's a quick look at the previous wicket, trying to go up and over extra cover. Good bit of fielding. The car fielder running in from the boundary and making sure that he grabs it with both hands to seal things off for Powerhand Plantations as they carry home a victory of 53 runs. As they bowl out and Sri Lanka for 107. Chamod will stay unbeaten. Very unfortunate. It has been a great effort by the Powerhand Plantations. They walked into the second innings being the top side after finishing things off in style in the first innings. They got off to a very poor start, but they managed to finish things off on a high note by that brilliant partnership of 82 runs for the 8th wicket, which really stood out. And finally, the bowlers coming out very handy, as we could see the players greeting each other, handshakes going out there in the middle. Good scenes to see. No matter who wins, who loses, end of the day, this beautiful game should win. Congratulations to Team Powerhand Plantation for managing to pluck a victory. Now, this is a very important game here at the Nalanda College Cricket Grounds. That'll be their second win of the season. Previously had played one game, won that game. Both teams coming in here today as the unbeaten teams, but Sri Lanka unfortunately falling short. Here's a quick look at the batting card. Shamu Chamatsara, the last man to be dismissed. He walked out to the middle from the very first delivery. Unfortunately, none of the batters helping him around. Just the 2 batters, apart from Chamat, managing to get past the double figure. The bowling was very disciplined, just 11 extras, 18.1 overs before Sri Lanka were bowled out for 107 in 18.1 overs. Right then, let's take a quick look at the bowling card. The bowlers were pretty decent. Kasuniro, she was the pick of the bowlers for me. Quite easily, 3.1 overs, 15 runs and 4 wickets, and all other bowlers contributing with 1 wicket each, apart from Varuna Udar, who was quite expensive in his 1 over for 12 runs. Hardly any partnerships in the middle, just that one promising partnership for the 9th wicket of 25 runs, but apart from that, it was a complete collapse for Ansell Lanka, as Powerhand Plantation managed to win this game by 53 runs. Right, then that's the match summary for you. Ansell Lanka winning the toss, deciding to bowl first. Powerhand Plantation 160 for 9 in their total number of 20 overs. Varun Udara and Ishan Hettiarich, the standout batters, where Ravindra Kumara with the ball in hand managed to grab 4 for 26 in reply. Ansell Lanka for bowled out for 107 in 18.1 overs. Hardly any batters apart from Chamud Satsara contributing to this innings. Kasuni Roche was very good with the ball, 4 for 15, which helped Ansell Lanka, unfortunately, to lose this game. Powerhand Plantation taking a victory of 53 runs. Right, then that's the news from the centre. Don't go too far. We'll take a short break and we will be back with the upcoming game.